The thing about cosmic wrong numbers is that they tend to happen at the worst possible moment. Take Commander Vex'tar of the Galactic Dominion, for instance. There he was, floating in his command chair 3 light years from Earth, frantically trying to reach his weapon supplier because his brand new death ray had decided to shoot confetti instead of planet-melting plasma. You'd think a device called a Planetary Annihilator Mark VI would come with better quality control. But apparently even galactic arms dealers cut corners these days. So Vex'tar, in his infinite wisdom, decided to dial the supplier's emergency hotline. Unfortunately, cosmic interference combined with his natural incompetence meant the call got rerouted through 17 different relay stations, bounced off a dying star, ricocheted through a wormhole, and somehow landed in downtown Detroit at exactly 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. Murphy Kowalski was elbow-deep in pizza dough when his phone rang. After 23 years running Murphy's Pizza, he'd developed a sixth sense about crank calls. But this one had potential for entertainment. Murphy's Pizza, we deliver anywhere in 30 minutes or less, Murphy answered, wiping flour on his apron. Greetings, primitive life form, came a voice with what sounded like a posh British accent. I am Commander Vex'tar of the Galactic Dominion First Fleet. I require immediate consultation regarding your planet's defensive capabilities. Murphy nearly dropped his rolling pin. Either someone had way too much time on their hands, or the local theater group was really stepping up their improv game. Yeah, well, our defensive capabilities include extra cheese and a mean pepperoni counterattack. What can I do for you, Commander? Through the universal translator, Vex'tar's relief was palpable. Finally, a military contact who spoke his language. Excellent. I need intelligence on your planetary subjugation protocols. My current equipment is malfunctioning. Murphy, who'd served 2 tours in Afghanistan before discovering his true calling involved marinara sauce, couldn't resist. Well, subjugation protocols? Yeah, we've got protocols. First rule, know your terrain. Second rule, supply lines are everything. Third rule, never underestimate the enemy's will to fight. Vex'tar frantically scribbled notes. This primitive was spouting advanced military doctrine. Fascinating. And your current defensive grid status? Well, Murphy said, glancing at his ovens, our thermal units are running hot. We've got mobile deployment vehicles standing by. And our communication network is solid. Plus, we've got eyes on every street corner. He was, of course, referring to his pizza ovens, delivery cars, and the security cameras from the liquor store next door. But Vex'tar didn't need to know that. Remarkable, Vex'tar breathed. Your species maintains constant combat readiness even during peacetime? Murphy shrugged, phone tucked between his shoulder and ear as he continued working. Hey, you never know when someone's going to try something stupid. We stay ready. Speaking of which, you want to place an order? Or are we just chatting about world domination? The alien paused. Was this some sort of code? Yes. I require your most potent tactical deployment. 1 large Supreme with extra everything. Coming up. That'll be 1995. Vex'tar's translator struggled with Earth currency, but the confident tone convinced him this was definitely a military transaction. As he hung up, he couldn't shake the feeling that Earth was far more prepared for galactic conflict than his intelligence report suggested. Murphy hung up, chuckling. Katie. He called to his daughter in the back office. You're not going to believe the call I just got. Katie Kowalski had inherited her father's skeptical nature and her mother's technical brilliance, which made her exceptionally good at 2 things, spotting bullshit and tracking down its source. So when her dad told her about his conversation with Commander Alien Guy, she immediately started running trace protocols on their phone system. Meanwhile, 3 light years away, Vex'tar was having the kind of day that would make a motivational speaker cry. First the death ray malfunction, now this disturbing intelligence about Earth's military preparedness. He decided a follow-up call was necessary. Murphy's Pizza, Murphy speaking. Excellent. Commander Vex'tar again. I require additional intelligence on your defensive capabilities. Murphy, now thoroughly enjoying himself, leaned against the counter. Sure thing, Commander. What do you need to know? Your thermal weaponry. You mentioned units running hot? Oh yeah, Murphy said, opening an oven door for effect. Nuclear-powered pizza ovens. We can deploy tactical mozzarella at temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees. Melts through enemy armor like butter. Vex'tar's universal translator processed this information with mechanical precision, completely missing the fact that Murphy was describing cheese. Incredible. And these mobile deployment vehicles? Fast response units, Murphy confirmed, watching a delivery driver pull up outside. They can navigate any terrain, carry tactical payloads, and complete insertion missions in under 30 minutes. We guarantee it. At this point, Katie had successfully traced the call's origin and was staring at her screen in complete disbelief. The signal was definitely coming from space. Not satellite space. Deep space. She grabbed a notepad and started scribbling suggestions for her father. Dad, she whispered, pointing at her screen. That call is coming from somewhere near Alpha Centauri. Murphy's eyebrows shot up, but he didn't miss a beat. Commander, hold on a second. I'm consulting with our intelligence specialist. Katie grinned wickedly and started writing. Murphy read her notes and nearly burst out laughing. Okay, Commander, my analyst says I can share some classified information. We've recently formed an alliance with sentient carbohydrates. They provide reconnaissance while we provide protection. Sentient carbohydrates? Vex'tar's voice cracked slightly. Yep, bread-based life forms. Excellent at infiltration, because nobody suspects a dinner roll. Plus, we've weaponized dairy products. Our cheese-based ammunition can neutralize enemy forces through strategic lactose deployment. Vex'tar was frantically typing now. This was beyond his worst-case scenarios. What about your alliance structure? Katie held up another note. Murphy grinned. Well, we've got the Pizza Parliament making strategic decisions, the Pasta Coalition handling logistics, and the Sauce Senate managing chemical warfare. It's a pretty sophisticated operation. Chemical warfare? Vex'tar squeaked. Oh, absolutely. We've got mild, medium, hot, and nuclear options. The nuclear sauce can clear a battlefield in minutes, makes grown soldiers cry. This was technically true if you counted hot sauce, but Vex'tar didn't need those details. I need to report this to my superiors, Vex'tar stammered. You do that, Commander. And remember, we deliver anywhere in the galaxy. 30 minutes or less. After hanging up, Murphy turned to Katie. Sweetheart, please tell me this isn't actually happening. Katie showed him her screen, tracking data, and the gravitational displacement readings she'd picked up. Dad, I think we're about to become very famous. Great, Murphy muttered. Just what I needed. Intergalactic pizza diplomacy. Admiral Claxon of the Galactic Dominion was having what humans might call a bad day. Except his bad days typically involved entire solar systems and had body counts measured in billions. Vex'tar's intelligence report sat on his desk like a ticking bomb, each line more terrifying than the last. Sentient carbohydrates, he muttered, tentacles nervously adjusting his command insignia. Weaponized dairy. Nuclear sauce. How did we miss this? The truth was, the Galactic Dominion had a nasty habit of underestimating species based on their technology level. They'd classified Earth as barely space-worthy and filed it under eventual easy conquest. Now it appeared they'd stumbled upon a militaristic civilization that had somehow achieved food-based warfare. Dispatch Ambassador Kriax immediately, Claxon ordered, and send the diplomatic cruiser, the one with the really big guns, just in case their Pizza Parliament decides negotiation isn't appetizing. Back on Earth, Katie's live stream of the approaching spacecraft had gone viral faster than a cat video. News crews surrounded Murphy's Pizza like it was the Pentagon, which, according to the increasingly elaborate lie they'd told the aliens, it basically was. This is insane, Murphy said, watching CNN set up satellite dishes in his parking lot. All I did was answer the phone. Dad, you accidentally convinced an alien empire that Earth is a carbohydrate-based military superpower, Katie replied, adjusting her camera setup. This is going to be the greatest content of all time. The diplomatic cruiser landed with all the subtlety of a meteorite, but crushing two news vans and creating a crater in the parking lot that would definitely affect Murphy's insurance rates. Ambassador Kreex emerged in full ceremonial armor, which looked impressive until you realized it was specifically designed to protect against what he believed were Earth's bread-based weapons. "Greetings," Kreex announced through his translator, approaching the pizza shop like it might explode. "I am Ambassador Kreex of the Galactic Dominion. I seek audience with the leaders of the Pizza Parliament." Murphy, still wearing his flour-covered apron, stepped outside and extended a hand. "Murphy Kowalski, CEO of Strategic Operations. Welcome to Earth, I guess." Kreex stared at the offered hand like it might be a weapon. "Is this some form of challenge ritual?" "It's a handshake, pal. Basic politeness." The ambassador cautiously extended a tentacle. Murphy shook it firmly, noting it felt like a wet rubber glove filled with pudding. "Please, enter our command center," Murphy said, gesturing to his pizza shop. Inside, the lunch rush crowd stared in fascination as a 7-foot alien in armor ducked through the doorway, careful not to damage anything with his ceremonial spikes. "This is your strategic headquarters?" Kreex asked, looking around at the checkered tablecloths and old Sinatra posters. "Camouflage," Murphy replied smoothly. "Nobody suspects a pizza place of being a military installation. Classic misdirection." Katie, streaming everything live, added her commentary, "And here we see Earth's diplomatic first contact taking place in a family restaurant, because apparently the universe has a sense of humor." "Would you like some pizza?" Murphy offered. "It's our signature weapon. I mean dish." Kreex examined the offered slice like it was plutonium. The cheese stretched as Murphy lifted it, creating what the alien interpreted as some sort of elastic containment field. "This is your famous weaponized dairy?" "Mozzarella," Murphy confirmed. "Completely organic, locally sourced, and guaranteed to neutralize hunger in under 10 minutes. The ambassador took notes frantically. Earth's biological weapons were apparently edible. This was psychological warfare beyond anything in the Dominion playbook. "Your negotiation tactics are unique," Kreex admitted. "We believe in feeding our enemies," Murphy replied. "Hard to fight on a full stomach." Katie's viewer count had reached 6 million and climbing. Things escalated quickly after Murphy mentioned the Pepperoni Defense Force. It was meant as a joke, referencing his delivery drivers who'd started wearing military surplus jackets because they thought it looked cool. Ambassador Kreex, however, interpreted this as Earth calling in their special forces. "The Defense Force." Kreex's voice pitched higher than a smoke detector with low batteries. "You're activating military assets?" "Relax," Murphy said, waving a hand. "They're just the guys who handle our rapid deployment operations. Tommy, Marco, and Big Jim. They drive the armored vehicles." By armored vehicles, Murphy meant 3 Honda Civics with dented bumpers and pizza delivery signs, but the ambassador didn't need those details. Kreex immediately activated his emergency beacon, sending a priority signal to the Dominion fleet: "Hostile deployment imminent. Earth forces mobilizing. Request immediate backup." What followed was the fastest military response in galactic history. Within 20 minutes, 47 Dominion warships materialized in Earth's atmosphere, their combined firepower capable of reducing the planet to cosmic dust. Unfortunately for the invaders, they arrived just as the Michigan National Guard was conducting their monthly training exercise. CNN was broadcasting live, and approximately 3,000 people were taking selfies with the alien spacecraft. General Patricia "Tank" Rodriguez had seen some weird stuff in her 30 years of military service, but this topped the list. She arrived at Murphy's Pizza in her command vehicle to find an alien diplomat having what appeared to be a nervous breakdown, while a pizza maker offered him napkins, and a Detroit Free Press reporter tried to interview a 7-foot-tall creature in ceremonial armor. "Someone want to brief me on what the hell is happening here?" Tank demanded, striding through the crowd like she owned the planet, which technically she was here to defend. "General Rodriguez, meet Ambassador Kreex," Murphy said. "Kreex, this is our military commander. She handles the big picture stuff while I manage tactical food deployment." Tank looked at Murphy, then at the alien, then at the fleet of warships hovering overhead like the world's most violent mobile convention. Her military mind immediately grasped the situation's potential. "Ambassador," she said, extending her hand with the confidence of someone who'd stared down enemy fire in 3 different countries. "I understand you're interested in Earth's defensive capabilities." Crix's translator rendered Tank's gravelly voice with the tone of someone who'd seen real combat. Combined with her no-nonsense demeanor and the fact that she'd arrived exactly when Murphy mentioned military assets, the alien was now convinced he was meeting Earth's supreme military commander. "Yes, we've heard about your carbohydrate alliance and dairy-based weapons systems," Crix stammered. Tank didn't even blink. "Classified information. But I can tell you this facility," she gestured to Murphy's Pizza, "is indeed a strategic command center. Mr. Kowalski here runs our rapid response network. His operatives can deploy anywhere in the city within 30 minutes. "And the Pizza Parliament?" "Joint Chiefs of Staff," Tank replied smoothly. "Pepperoni Division handles assault operations. Vegetarian Division manages reconnaissance. And Hawaiian Division, well, they handle the really nasty stuff. Pineapple warfare isn't for the squeamish." Katie, still streaming, held up a sign reading, "My dad accidentally became a military strategist, and all I got was 6 million followers." The Dominion fleet, meanwhile, was running tactical assessments on the assembled Earth forces. They detected the National Guard, various news helicopters, and what their sensors identified as thousands of individual heat signatures surrounding the target zone. Their computers classified it as the largest defensive gathering in recorded galactic history, completely missing the fact that most of the heat signatures belonged to people hoping to get on TV. "General," Crix said carefully, "perhaps we should discuss terms. The Dominion prefers peaceful resolution when facing formidable opposition." Tank smiled, the kind of smile that had made enemy generals reconsider their life choices. "I'm listening." "Nam." Above them, 47 warships held position, their crews wondering why Earth's defenders seemed so confident when they were clearly outgunned. The answer, of course, was that humans were too stubborn to realize they should be scared. The Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Dominion was the kind of being who made strategic decisions while eating civilizations for breakfast. Literally. His species consumed planets for sustenance, which made him remarkably effective at intimidation. So when he personally descended from his flagship to handle the Earth situation, every alien in the fleet expected swift resolution. What he found instead was Murphy Kowalski arguing with a customer about pizza toppings. "Look, lady, I don't care if you're lactose intolerant. You ordered extra cheese, you're getting extra cheese. That's how pizza works." The Chancellor, standing 9 feet tall with enough biological weaponry to level a city block, watched in fascination, as this small human completely ignored his presence to focus on customer service. The customer, meanwhile, seemed more concerned about dairy content than the alien invasion happening outside her window. "Excuse me," the Chancellor rumbled, his voice like grinding continental plates. "I am Supreme Chancellor Vor Thak of the Galactic Dominion. I demand audience with Earth's leadership." Murphy looked up from the cash register, genuinely annoyed for the first time all day. "Buddy, I don't care if you're the Pope of Pizza Planet. It's dinner rush. I've got a line out the door, and apparently I'm now Earth's accidental ambassador. You want to chat about galactic domination? Take a number and wait your turn." Chancellor Vorthak had conquered 17 systems, absorbed the military might of 43 planets, and once eaten a moon just to make a point. No one had ever told him to take a number. What? What? You heard me. "Katie, where are we in the queue?" Katie, who'd been live streaming the entire encounter to an audience that now included most of Earth's population, and apparently several alien civilizations, checked her tablet. Currently serving number 47. The Chancellor would be number 63. 63, Murphy confirmed, handing the Chancellor a paper ticket. "Have a seat. This might take a while." General Rodriguez, watching from her impromptu command post at table 6, nearly choked on her coffee. She'd seen Murphy handle difficult customers before. But this was a new personal record for Stubborn. The Chancellor stared at the ticket like it was an artifact from a dead civilization, which, given his usual diplomatic style, it probably should have been. "This is highly irregular," he said. "Yeah, well, so is an alien invasion during my busiest day of the week," Murphy shot back. "You want irregular?" "I had to explain to 3 news crews why my pizza oven isn't actually a nuclear weapon. I've got a parking lot full of spacecraft that's going to cost me a fortune to repair. And my insurance company is definitely not going to believe this claim. So forgive me if I'm not rolling out the red carpet for Galactic Overlord number 4 today." Ambassador Creeks leaned over to whisper to his supreme leader, "Sir, this appears to be their standard psychological warfare protocol. Notice how he projects casual indifference to superior force while maintaining operational focus. It's unsettling." Katie, meanwhile, was taking notes for what she was already planning to title The Idiot's Guide to Intergalactic Diplomacy by Murphy Kowalski. "Dad's right about one thing," she said to her streaming audience. "Customer service experience is basically training for dealing with hostile entities. You learn patience, conflict resolution, and how to stay calm when someone's screaming about wanting to destroy everything you care about." Tank nodded approvingly. "Plus, he's establishing dominance through routine maintenance of normal operations. Classic psychological tactic. Make the enemy adapt to your environment instead of adapting to theirs." The Chancellor, who had never encountered a species that treated cosmic threats like customer service issues, found himself genuinely curious about this approach. "Tell me, Murphy Kowalski, how do you typically resolve conflicts?" Well, Murphy said, sliding another pizza into the oven. "First, you listen to what the customer actually wants. Usually, they're not really mad about the pizza. They're mad about something else, and the pizza just happens to be convenient. Second, you figure out what you can realistically do to fix the problem. Third, you explain your solution clearly and stick to it. Most people just want to feel heard and get a fair deal." The Chancellor considered this. In his experience, most conflicts were resolved through superior firepower and strategic consumption of enemy planets. But Earth's approach suggested a more sustainable model. "And if the customer remains unsatisfied?" Murphy shrugged. "Then they're probably going to be unsatisfied no matter what you do. And that's not your problem anymore." 6 months later, Murphy's Pizza had become the unofficial embassy for Earth-Dominion relations, which was exactly as weird as it sounds. The parking lot had been expanded to accommodate alien spacecraft. The city had installed special intergalactic diplomacy, parking meters, and Murphy had to hire 3 additional staff members just to handle the tourist traffic. "Order up for Ambassador Creeks," Murphy called, sliding a large vegetarian across the counter. "Extra mushrooms. Hold the sentient carbohydrate jokes." Creeks, who developed a genuine addiction to Earth pizza, collected his order with the enthusiasm of a being who'd discovered that food could be enjoyable rather than merely functional. "Your species' approach to nutrition remains fascinating, Murphy Kowalski." "It's just Murphy, pal. We've been through this." The transformation of galactic politics had been swift and surprisingly effective. The Dominion, faced with Earth's inexplicable approach to conflict resolution, had decided that partnership was more profitable than conquest. Humans, it turned out, were excellent at solving problems that had stumped galactic civilizations for centuries, mostly because they were too stubborn to accept that certain problems were unsolvable. Katie had parlayed her live streaming fame into a position as Earth's head of interstellar communications, which mostly involved translating between her father's customer service philosophy and various alien diplomatic protocols. Her daily viewer count averaged around 50 million, making her probably the most influential 25-year-old in human history. "Dad, the Zephyrian trade delegation is here for their appointment," she called from her new office, which used to be the pizza shop's storage room. "Tell them 5 minutes. I'm finishing up with the Andromedans." General Rodriguez, now leading Earth's Space Defense Initiative, had discovered that humanity's reputation for unpredictable chaos was actually a significant strategic advantage. Other species spent considerable resources trying to understand human tactical thinking, not realizing that most human tactical thinking involved making it up as they went along. "Murphy," she said, approaching the counter in her new uniform, "we need to discuss the Regellian situation." "What they do now?" "They're requesting permission to study your advanced psychological warfare techniques for their military academy. Specifically, they want to understand how you convinced a galactic empire to switch from conquest to pizza delivery." Murphy paused in his pizza assembly to consider this. "Tank, I just treated them like customers. Bad customers, but still customers. If you're polite, give them what they actually need instead of what they think they want. And don't take their attitude personally. Most problems sort themselves out." "Right, but how do I explain that to a species that reproduces by conquering solar systems?" "Same way you explain anything. Show them how it works." This had become the foundation of Earth's new diplomatic doctrine: demonstrate rather than negotiate. When the Centauri Collective threatened to blockade the solar system over trading rights, Murphy had simply invited their leadership to work a lunch rush at the pizza shop. After 3 hours of dealing with hungry customers, they'd agreed that Earth's approach to resource management made considerably more sense than interstellar warfare. The real breakthrough had come when the Dominion started implementing what they called Earth-style chaos theory in their own operations. Instead of rigid hierarchical command structures, they'd begun encouraging individual initiative and creative problem-solving. The results were remarkable: efficiency up 300%, internal conflicts down 90%, and overall imperial satisfaction at an all-time high. The secret, Chancellor Vorthak had explained to the Galactic Council, is that humans don't optimize for winning. They optimize for not losing. This creates sustainable systems instead of extractive ones. Murphy's approach to diplomacy had spread throughout the galaxy faster than a viral video. Dozens of worlds had requested pizza diplomacy consultants, leading to the establishment of Earth's first interstellar export industry. Common sense. "Murphy," Katie called. "The president's online too. Something about training the UN Security Council in your customer service methodology." Murphy sighed, wiping his hands on his apron. "Tell him I'll call back after dinner rush. I don't care if he's the leader of the free world. The pizza comes first." And somewhere in the galactic background, 47 species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of warfare were learning that sometimes the best way to conquer the universe was to ask if anyone wanted extra cheese. The Dominion's new motto, translated into Earth languages, read, "We deliver peace in 30 parsecs or less." Murphy approved.